Welcome to Tullahoma High School Baseball on the Light Tube Sports Network. Good evening, everyone. Along with Ken Keller and Chris Barstad, I'm Scott Chastain. Tonight, the Tullahoma Wildcats and the Marshall County Tigers square off in District 8 AAA action. Your starting defense for Tullahoma. In right field, Colton Emery. The center fielder is Derek Nolasco. The left fielder is Nolasco in left field, Hunter Hogan in center field. The shortstop, Andrew Fulmer. At first base, Wade Collins. Second baseman, Evan Tomlin. At third is Mason Bratcher. The catcher is J-Ron Morris. And pitching tonight for the Tullahoma Wildcats is Balin Tootin. We're underway here. Marshall County leadoff batter steps in. James Harry.
What do you call that?
Yeah, Scott, last time we was here, we had a pitching duel between Tullahoma and Siegel. Tullahoma pulled it out in the 8 innings by the final score of 3-2. And Tootin, the sophomore, gets the nod tonight to Tullahoma Southpaw for the Wildcats.
I don't know. I didn't see the last call.
Pitch is high.
You know, Tootin's the one that had the
3-0 the count against Harry.
Had the big hit against Siegel, the triple in the 8th inning, and eventually scored the winning run on a game-winning single.
Tootin gets one in there.
So that's a fly ball out to left field for out number 1. Tootin battles back from a 3-0 count to get him.
Number 16, Trey Warner.
Trey Warner up now for Marshall County, the catcher, number 2 hitter for the Tigers. As we are live at Chili Grider Stadium here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, District 8 AAA action. Tullahoma won the series opener last night in Lewisburg 10-3. So district play has begun as Tootin misses ball 1.
One that started off just the way you want to start off a district series, get that first win on the road with a complete game pitching effort there by Evan Tomlin. So pitchers ought to be well rested for tonight's game here at home.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 to count on Warner.
This Wildcat lineup littered with underclassmen, only one senior, Wade Collins, as a starter. So the future looks very bright for Tullahoma.
Tootin's pitch fouled away. He's ahead of the count now on Warner, 1-2.
Yeah, Tootin, locating the fastball, not overpowering speed or velocity, but he pinpoints the ball, spot pitcher with some good off speed.
1-2 the count on Warner.
Oh, and there it was. Pulled the string on a curveball. Beautiful pitch.
Called strike 3, so 1 out here in the top, 2 outs here in the top of the first. And Balin Luttrell, or John Thomas, will step in, the first baseman. Thomas for the Tigers. Out of Lewisburg.
1-2 pitch, just a beautiful curveball there, and that had a lot of movement on it. Out inside corner. Strike 3 call.
2 outs here in the top of the first. Nobody on. Called strike 1.
I like the way he works both sides of the plate here early. Inside curveball to get the last batter, and starts this one off with an outside fastball on the corner. Good movement of his pitches.
Tootin delivers, bounces it up there. 1-1 the count now. No colder place in Tullahoma, Tennessee than Grouder Stadium.
And the wind was howling earlier, blowing straight in from center field. Makes it tough on the hitters and the fans.
That pitch almost hit Thomas. 2-1 the count. Yeah, you know, the wind blows in off the beach of Rock Creek. Many know it as other names. We'll stick with Rock Creek. Tootin's pitch must have been a little high. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And Tullahoma with an offensive explosion. 10 runs last night. Convincing 7-run victory.
A nice complete game pitched by Evan Tomlin last night. Tomlin's got 2 or 3 of those this year. We've got a discussion between the umpire and Marshall County head coach. Not sure what that could be. Something about Thomas.
He lost the count.
He's pointing out to right field. I don't know what he's having some kind of discussion with the umpire. That reminds me of I called Jerry, and he gave me an umpiring story. So it might be appropriate to put that in right here. So they went down to Bradley County to play a game one year, and they only had one umpire. So the umpire was calling the game behind the plate, not on the bases. Jerry told him, pleaded with him, find somebody else to help you. There's going to be a rough night. Jerry was hollering at him pretty much early in the game, and
so 3-1 the count against Thomas, not 2-2. That was the discussion, and I think Marshall County head coach was right.
Yeah,
he won that.
Well, and so the umpire finally came over the dugout, and John Husky, Jerry's assistant, had been in the bullpen warming Rob Norman up in the bullpen, and Jerry had been the one hammering the umpire the whole time, you know, and he looked at John and said, John, he said, you better be quiet or this umpire's going to throw you out. And that umpire looked at John Husky and said, yep, he's right. He said, you keep on, I'm going to throw you out. John didn't say a word. It was Jerry the whole time.
Thomas walks, so runner on first. Balin Luttrell will step in for the Tigers with 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Well, very unusual. Both teams have a Balin on their roster. Unusual name, but there's 2 of them tonight.
Tootin's first pitch missed, ball 1. There's a foul back this way. 1-1 the count now.
Marshall County cleanup hitter took a big cut on that one. Tell him a Wildcat shading this batter, the cleanup hitter, to pull just a bit. Center fielder shifted to the left side. Right fielder shifted a few steps to his right as well.
Luttrell, the right fielder for the Tigers, fouls it away. 1-2.
Straight away and left. Field looks great once again, as it always does here.
Plenty of rain, plenty of sunshine, but not tonight. There goes the runner. And Tootin balked. So Marshall County's Thomas advances to second on the balk by Tootin. And the count 1-2 on Luttrell. Runner in scoring position now for the Tigers. Tootin's pitch fouled away. That's 3 that have been about the same spot. So Luttrell just a little bit late.
On that is a fastball, so you may see it set him up for the curveball here. If he can throw a pitch like he did on Warner a couple batters ago, we'll be in business here.
Tootin's pitch is inside. Good stop by Jaron Morris.
Sure was.
And the count's 2-2.
Sure was. Definitely saved the base there because, as you know, you pointed out in all these telecasts, the difference between the backstop and the home plate at Tullahoma High School is probably deeper than any field around in the state.
I'd compare
No
it
man's
with major
land.
league fields.
Yeah, it's
a long way.
Sure is.
Tootin delivers. Grounder, third base, scooped up, throw to first, in time for out number 3. So Marshall County strands one. We go to the bottom of the first. Tullahoma coming to bat. This is the Light Tube Sports Network.
Ready to work back, Bang?
Never miss your favorite shows again. For an additional $7 a month along with your digital television service, LightTube Cloud DVR lets you record up to 8 programs at the same time, receive 500 gigabytes of cloud storage, and whole home DVR. Call TUA Customer Service to add LightTube Cloud DVR to your digital television service today at 455-4515.
Leading off for Tullahoma here in the bottom of the first, the shortstop, number 9, Andrew Fulmer, sophomore. Fulmer takes ball 1. This is Grayson Miller pitching for Marshall County, right-hander of average build. Missed a little bit outside.
His arm slot straight over the top. I mean straight over the top.
Fulmer, a right-hander. Called strike 1.
Fulmer transferred from Franklin County, Tennessee, and name well known in these areas.
That pitch missed high, ball 3. He is of the Fulmer line.
The Fulmer lineage.
Pitch is low, ball 4, and Tullahoma's leadoff batter is on first base as Andrew Fulmer draws the walk. Up next, the center fielder, number 21, sophomore Hunter Hogan.
Hunter.
Oh, that's an ominous sign there for the Marshall County pitcher. Never made the batter swing, the leadoff batter. That's not a good sign. So, good sign for Tullahoma.
And, I mean,
Good start.
you just hate to walk leadoff batter.
That's right, yeah.
Baseball, softball, anything.
Hardly ever turns out well.
Hardly ever turns out well. That's right. That pitch is low into the plate. Still no swing from Tullahoma. As Hogan ahead 1-0.
Well, it looks like he's not only missing, he's missing by a lot early.
Need to take advantage of that.
Yes, we do.
There's a strike in there.
That's a good pitch on the inside corner. Good fastball.
Still no swing, though.
Yeah, they may have been taking one. Now we're going to be swinging. Morris, good power to the gaps. He can hit the. He's strong in opposite field hitting. He can hit that gap. We've seen him right center,
Hogan.
right field. Gap hitter.
1-1 to count on Hogan. Throw to first, not in time.
Didn't have time to play anymore.
Marshall County outfield pretty deep with the wind blowing in even.
Yeah,
On Morris.
Hogan's not a slugger. Hogan's a speed guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not Morris. That's Hogan. Yeah, I was thinking it was Morris.
It's all right,
Aaron
buddy.
Morris.
I
That's
just-
my bad. There we
I
go.
just keep telling
That's
you
my
the truth.
error. Hey, I made an error early in the first inning. That's my first error of the contest.
EKK.
Yeah.
1-2 the count on Hogan. Throw to first, back in time.
Just as long as I make the errors and not the Wildcats defense, we'll be good.
Well, that's why they have me up here.
That's
man.
right. Keep me
to
straight.
Try to keep you on course here.
Yeah, so Hogan gets the start in center field.
Hogan dribbles it
Trouble.
down the third base line. There's no way they're getting him at first base. That's a base hit for Hunter Hogan, and Tullahoma has a little something going here in the bottom of the first. Fulmer at second, Hogan at first, and Evan Tomlin.
Evan.
Second baseman, number 18, steps in. Tomlin, a junior, with 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, that's your classic swinging bunt. Really no way to defend that. The third baseman was back. That ball was just down the third base line. And with Hogan's speed, no chance to even attempt to throw to first.
If we make tracks, are you okay with cleaning it up?
Tomlin takes
LED
strike 1.
logo? That'd be cool. That'd be nice.
Now the Wildcats got
So far.
3 big hitters here, perched ready to bat. Tomlin, Morris, and Emery, the heart of the order. with RBI opportunities.
There's a grounder up the middle, base hit. One run's going to score. Hogan's going to stop at second. Wise decision. And Evan Tomlin drives in the first run of the game as Andrew Fulmer crosses the plate. Tullahoma leads 1-0. Still nobody out.
So that's an RBI right through the box.
Number 27.
Right over pitcher's mound through second base. So RBI for Mr. Tomlin. He gets a complete win victory on the mound last night and the first RBI tonight.
Jaron Morris steps in. Jaron catching tonight, number 27, a junior for the Wildcats. Runners at first and second, nobody out.
Hanging curveball, stayed high. 1-0.
Yeah, I don't like the velocity of this Marshall County pitcher. There's a drive to center field. It is caught. Tullahoma stays where they are. 1 out.
Boy, that's tough luck there for Morris. That ball was hit so hard it looked like it was curving out there. It had some movement on it. So that's really an underrated play by the center fielder on that line shot. He made a good catch on that.
It was fading away from him. Now the right fielder Colton Emery steps in, junior, with runners at first and second, now 1 out. Tullahoma on top, 1-0.
Grayson Miller definitely not fooling the Tullahoma hitters here in the bottom of the first.
Pitch was outside, but strike one called.
That ball definitely off the plate.
There's a grounder to third. It's going to be hard to handle. Third baseman touches the bag for out number 2. Got the force at third. Nice play by Marshall County's third baseman.
Yeah, it sure was. Nice backhand there by the third baseman.
2 outs now
for
with
the Tigers.
Second. Stepping in, sophomore pitcher, number 19, Balin Tootin.
That's Reed Mitchell with that backhand play there at third.
2 down, runner at second and first.
Yeah, we saw Tootin with that big triple against Siegel last week in our opening telecast for Light Tube Sports Network. That 3-2 victory over Siegel, the Siegel Stars.
Emery reaches first for the Wildcats on the fielder's choice. 0-1 to count to Tootin. Missed ball 1.
Got a chance to help himself with a 2-out hit here. Those 2-out hits are always big ones in a game. You want to score runs after 2 outs.
Especially against this guy early.
Yeah, nice curveball on that one.
1-2 the count on Tootin.
Looks like he took some off that curveball too.
Little high.
Big differential between that slow curve there and his fastball.
2-2 the count now, 2 outs. 2 runners on. There's a drive to left field. Left fielder drifts back and makes the play. So Tullahoma plates 1 here. We've played an inning. Wildcats 1, Tigers nothing. This is the Light Tube Sports Network. We move to the top of the second now. Tullahoma on top, 1-0. Thomas Beach, the designated hitter, leads off for Marshall County against Balin Tootin.
Tootin staked to a 1-0 lead here, top of the second. Tullahoma plates a run on 2 hits, bottom half of the first. Good start.
Chilly night here at Grider Stadium. Interesting to see how that affects different players, different ways. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Some people can block it out, some can't.
You know, it just takes a little longer to warm up as a pitcher in this kind of cold weather. You want to make sure you're good and loose when you get in if you do come in.
Tootin's pitch, beautiful. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
Tootin throwing darts right now. That's his second strikeout of the game.
21.
One out here in the top of the second inning. Grayson Miller, the pitcher, steps to the plate.
Pitcher on pitcher. It looked like these Marshall County Tigers got their names on the back of their jerseys.
Both of these pitchers batting in the 6th hole for their teams.
Check swing ball high. He called it a strike.
Yeah, he did. Batter's confused. Miller's confused. Now it's a
I
ball.
thought he went like, oh, okay.
I think he did. I think he had a little brain slip.
He pointed him first.
Inside 2-0 the count on Miller.
Looked like he called a strike and then checked with the first base umpire to check the swing.
Inside 3-0 the count on Marshall County's pitcher Miller. Tootin with 1 out. Got to fight back from a 3-0 deficit. And he begins that with called strike.
Well, the umpire made a no-doubter on that one. We could hear him yell strike from up here on that one.
There's a high pop. Looks like it's going to be out of play. Well, you're talking about umpires being vocal now. We had a young lady out at Motlow softball yesterday. She liked strikes. I mean, with every strike, buddy, she was loud. You could tell it from the parking lot. 3-2 the count on Miller. 1 down, nobody on here in the top of the second. Tullahoma's Braylon Tootin delivers.
Got him.
Struck him out, and Miller thought it was a walk, and that won't get him any favors when he gets back on the mound because umpires don't like that.
Number 3.
2 outs now here in the top of the second. And the batter's the third baseman, Reed Mitchell. Mitchell, good size.
Well, Tootin came back from a 3-0 count. He did that in the first inning. So, the one critique that I have early is just, get ahead in the count. He's falling behind 3-0 on a couple of hitters, and you don't want that. Just do what you did right there. Be aggressive early in the count. Try to get ahead with the first pitch strike. Changes everything.
Which he does against Mitchell. Now inside, gets away from Morris. No harm done. Nobody on.
You say that umpire at Motlow was kind of like, what was that movie? Was it Airplane? Where that older guy was calling balls and strikes behind the plate and then start doing the moonwalk and stuff when he would strike people out?
Police Academy.
What was it?
Police Academy.
Police Academy.
Yeah, Naked Gun, sorry.
Naked Gun. Okay, we'll get it right here in a minute. That's got to be one of the classic umpire scenes of all time right there, of a vocal umpire that wanted to be the show,
2-1 the count. Fouled out of play. Reminds me of Eugene London. Now, he didn't always want to be the show, but he was the show.
He sure was. Yeah, Eugene was loud calling balls, strikes, and outs.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Braylon Tootin battling here with Reed Mitchell. Tootin's pitch is popped up to right field. It's going to be a long run, and it falls out of play. A lot of baseballs out there.
Tell you a couple umpires that were loud that I'd umpired with and had games where they umpired my games was Lamont Snipes and Sammy Northcutt. They would be very clear and concise in their balls and strikes and outs as well. Both of them great guys.
Tootin, 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He struck him out.
Struck out the side.
Braylon Tootin strikes out Marshall County in the top of the second. Tullahoma leads 1-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Did you know that Tullahoma Utilities Authority has a solar farm right here in Tullahoma? For as little as $4 a month, you can support solar energy production and breathe a little easier, knowing you're taking positive action to reduce your carbon footprint. Call 455-4515.
Along with Ken Keller, I'm Scott Chastain. Welcome back to Grider Stadium as Tullahoma leads Marshall County 1-0. Mason Bratcher playing third base today. Steps in to lead off here in the bottom of the second for the Wildcats. Bratcher, yet another sophomore for the Cats.
And we saw Bratcher pitch in our first telecast. He went 5 innings against Siegel, allowing only 1 run. Very impressive. And saw him on the gridiron at quarterback. Did not start the season at quarterback, but came in about the 4th game into the season and played well.
I don't know how that was a strike. 0-2 the count to Mason Bratcher.
2 quick
that
strikes.
Looked low and outside. Of course, if I'm the umpire out there with the wind in my face, I'm calling strikes too. There's a grounder to short. Throw to first. It's low. I think Bratcher beat that. And I know he did because the first baseman dropped the ball. But I think that was a base hit anyway for Mason Bratcher, as that was deep in the hole, and he just outran it.
He was hustling down that line. Showed good speed, no quit there, and his hustle paid off, so he reaches first safely.
So Tullahoma with a runner at first, and first baseman Wade Collins steps in. Collins, the only senior on this squad.
Wade had 2 hits last night.
There's a high pop right to second base. Out 1 here in the bottom of the second as Collins pops out. And Derek Nolasco steps in. Nolasco, the left fielder, number 29. Our first look at Nolasco. I think he might have pitched Ron or something when we were here last week.
And we're told Collins had 2 hits last night. That 10-run barrage for the Wildcats as they win the opener of this series 10-3 at Lewisburg, trying to sweep the series here tonight.
That's the way you want to open district play, right?
It sure is. You know, you want to win all your games, but you do, you stack your pitching up and set everything, put a little bit more emphasis on those district contests. They have a little more weight.
0-1 the count on Nolasco. High ball 1.
And curveball stayed up on that when Miller wanted the strike call.
Yeah, Miller.
But he didn't get it.
I don't know if he's a little stretched a little something there.
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Umpire coming in to check on him. He landed awkwardly or something.
Sure did. Well, the wind has finally died down here at Grider Stadium. Looking at that flag out in center field, it's not moving at this time.
No, it didn't. Miller's delivery, high, ball 2.
No, that's one warning. As a pitcher, if you're missing high, you're not following through, you're not executing your pitches, so it's something to keep an eye on.
There's a strike, 2-2 on Nolasco. With Bratcher at first, 1 out.
Tullahoma leadoff hitter Andrew Fulmer on deck.
Pop out of play. 2-2, count remains. Miller delivers. Outside. Count is full against Nolasco.
3-2-1 out here. Bottom of the second. Wildcats lead the Tigers 1-0.
Fouled out of play. Nolasco battling in there with a 3-2 count.
We had a good cut on that one. Had a pitch to hit and put a nice cut on it. Bratcher's going.
There's the pitch. He missed ball 4. So Nolasco walks. Bratcher to second. Runners at first and second with 1 out. We go back to the top of the order with shortstop Andrew Fulmer.
Tullahoma's got something brewing here in the bottom of the second. That's what you want. You got 7, 8, 9 up. 2 of those 3 guys get on base. You flip the batting order here.
Fulmer walked his first time up. Scored the only run of the game. Slow breaking ball.
Yeah.
Strike 1.
Pulled the string on that one. That's a nice pitch. At an opportune time for the Marshall County pitcher there who's struggling.
That low outside, the umpire is giving it to everybody. So 0-2 the count on Fulmer. There's the same pitch, ball.
Yeah, it's almost like, when you get an aggressive umpire that's calling, giving some edges there on the corners, even 6 inches outside the plate, you got to protect. You got to be swinging with 2 strikes.
And he does, and it's a pop to right field that is misplayed by the right fielder. Runners are going, circling the bases. Fulmer has to hold up at first to wait for an opportunity to get to second, and he does. So error in right field leads to a Tullahoma run as Bratcher scores. Nolasco goes to third. Fulmer at second. I think that's a 2-base error, boss. Your thoughts?
Well, he just couldn't get to the. He tried to make a shoestring catch out there, and the ball just fell beyond his glove. It could be called either way, but nonetheless, Tullahoma leads it 2-0. Looked like the runners did get a little confused. You thought maybe we could get 2 runs out of that.
Well, they had to wait and see if it was going to be called because it should have been.
Yeah.
Hunter Hogan steps in, center fielder. Runners at second and third now. 1 out. 2-0 Tullahoma.
Bratcher scores for Tullahoma.
Hogan with a chance to really break this thing open a little bit here. He popped it out of play.
And really, that was a good swing there by Fulmer. He had 2 strikes on the pitch, was outside. He just poked his bat out and pushed it to right and put the ball in play, and something good happened out of it.
Well, you were just talking about how you got to adjust and protect out there, and that's what Fulmer did.
He sure did.
Pitch is outside, 2-1 to count on Hogan.
Well, Wildcats threatening to break this thing open here. Already up 2-0. Base hit's going to score 2.
Hunter had a single in the first inning, and he lines it over second base. There's 1 run in. That short base hit will only score 1 as Nolasco crosses the plate. Tullahoma leads 3-0. RBI for Hunter Hogan.
At bat, number 18.
And Fulmer is at third. Hogan is at first. Evan Tomlin, the second baseman, steps in for Tullahoma.
Yeah, you called it. And Tomlin singled up the middle and had an RBI in the first. So Tullahoma, their bats were hot last night, getting them going early again, staying hot. And now you got the power part of the lineup up 3, 4, and 5 in Tomlin, Morris, and Emery.
Runners at first and third on the corners. 1 out. There goes the runner. No throw to second. So Hunter Hogan takes second. Now he's in scoring position. One and 0 the count on Tomlin.
And 0 activity in the Marshall County bullpen.
Sweeping curve ball. Strike 1.
Sure was. Infield in for the Tigers.
Called strike 2.
You're 3 down against a good pitcher early, so you got to really try to cut the run off at the plate. Really, you don't have a runner at first, so there's no double play opportunity here unless you get maybe a line drive hit right at you and can get somebody off a base. But they're going to play the ground ball at home here should they get the opportunity. Tullahoma looking for a sac fly or something in the green here in the outfield.
1-2 the count. Miller steps off. Now looks back into his catcher and delivers. Inside, Tomlin leans back, 2-2.
There's none I think they called temperatures. None when I got there. It's incredible.
The pitch. Tomlin just a little bit late, fouls it out of play. Back behind the visitor stands at Wilkins Stadium. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate you tuning in here on the Light Tube Sports Network. Hope you are enjoying our spring lineup of baseball, softball, and soccer. 2-2 pitch. There's a grounder. Second base. Throw to first in time, but the runner scores as Fulmer crosses the plate, and that is an RBI for Evan Tomlin. 2 outs now. Tullahoma leading 4-0. And Jaron Morris steps in, the catcher.
Yeah, and that's the thing about, having your infield in almost. The ball's got to be pretty much hit sharp right at you for you to chop that runner off at home plate. But that was just a high bouncer. over the mound. The second baseman had to go to his right, made a good job fielding the play. The only option he had was to get the force out at first. But it plates the run for the Wildcats. 4-zip lead here.
Called strike one on Morris. 2 down.
Big inning for the Tullahoma Wildcats. 3 runs already plated.
Need to get this runner at third home. That's Hogan. Good speed. Need a wild pitch. Strike 2.
And Morris hit that hooking line drive to center field, hit the ball right. Hit it pure and solid. Center fielder made a good play first time up.
Just missed outside. 1 and 2 the count now on J-Run.
Close pitch to take against this ump.
Yeah, really. Morris wasn't going to take that one. It's out of the way, 1 and 2.
They've already figured out if it's 6 inches off that plate on the outside corner, you better foul it off and live for the next pitch, because he's going to call it on you. Don't get caught with a bat on your
1-2 pitch
shoulders.
from Miller. There's a drive to center field, but right at the center fielder who makes the catch. But Tullahoma plates 3. As we move to the 3rd inning, the Wildcats lead Marshall County 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Tullahoma Utilities Authority Light Tube Fiber Internet offers true gigabit service to our customers. We pride ourselves on speed, but the backbone of that speed is local tech support, unmatched customer service, and professional service technicians. To sign up, call 455-4515 to gain the reassurance of Light Tube reliability.
So we move to the top of the 3rd with Tullahoma leading 4-0. And Marshall County left fielder Eli Cross steps to the plate for his first appearance tonight against Balin Tootin. There's a pop out of play behind the Marshall County dugout here at Grider Stadium.
Their line score here in the top of the 3rd. Tullahoma 4 runs on 4 hits. Marshall County 0 runs, 0 hits. No hits yet for the Tigers.
If he gets a hit, I'm throwing you out of this press box. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
Tootin already with 4
That's
Ks.
like you do me in football, Ken.
4
We'll be in the
strikeouts.
3rd quarter, and you'll say, "Oh, we don't need a turnover right now." That's out of nowhere.
Yeah, there you go.
1 and 2 the count.
4 strikeouts here in 2 innings of work for Tootin.
No, he's been sharp.
1 base on balls.
Swung on and missed. He totally fooled Cross. Out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd. Colin Henry, the shortstop, steps in for the Tigers. Yeah, Tootin fooled him bad.
It's about time to start putting some Ks over there on that right field fence. Just line them up.
That's right.
Because he's setting them down tonight. It's Balin Tootin, the
The
Tullahoma
right
sophomore.
field rowdies have not got cranked up this year.
Yeah, that would be a nice enhancement. We got to talk to Principal quick and see if we can get the right field rowdies getting that K club started out there in right field.
Inside corner called strike 1. 1 and 1 to count. Tootin's pitch missed. 2 and 1.
Boy, Tootin really working the inside corner on these right-handed hitters. You know, they're trying to get their arms extended, and he's just tying them up inside on the black. Tough pitch to hit.
Inside, 3 and 1. 1 out, nobody on. There's a grounder right back to Tootin. Nice play, throw to first. Out number 2. Nice play by Tootin. Nice reaction.
Sure, it was. He's making it look easy tonight.
Just flipped it to Collins. 2 down here with nobody on. Marshall County goes back to the top of the order. James Harry, center fielder.
He lined out to left to start the game off. You know, Tullahoma's only had to field 3 balls in play. A line out to left, a ground out to third, and then that pitcher to first put out there. Only 3 outs that have not been strikeouts in this game.
0 and 1 the count to Heary. Leaned him back, little chin music, 1-1. Sun has set. Tullahoma, Tennessee. There's a high pop, right center. Right fielder makes the play. And that's it for Marshall County. 3 up and 3 down in the top of the third. Tullahoma leads at 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Is lag hurting your gaming? Is a weak signal stalling your social media posts? Are constant updates slowing down your productivity? TUA LightTube has a solution. Enroll in our mesh router service starting at $9.95 a month. With the ability to cover your home with increased signal strength, you can increase productivity and whole home happiness. Start winning today by calling TUA LightTube customer service at 455-4511.
Welcome back to Grider Stadium. We move to the bottom of the third. Tullahoma leading 4-0. Colton Emery will lead it off for the Wildcats. Right fielder.
Emery grounded to third. On a force out, third baseman fielded the grounder with first and second, tag third.
Miller still
timer.
in for the Tigers, and his first pitch is outside ball 1. Outside ball 2.
This Marshall County pitcher works fast, a fast pace, which is good. That's what we want on a cold night like this.
There's a drive to center field, base hit for Colton Emery. He drove that ball hard, right back in the box. So with Emery at first, nobody out, Balin Tootin steps in.
19. Balin Tootin.
Well, it's a third consecutive inning that Tullahoma's put the leadoff batter on base.
And they've scored both times.
They sure have. See if we can go 3 for 3 here. Cat's already up, 4-zip. Bottom of the third.
Bunt. Tootin attempts the bunt, fouls it away. Emery had a good jump.
Oh, this Tootin, I really like his game. You know, good speed. We saw him, rip a ball down the right field corner against Siegel for a big triple. I mean, he almost about landed on a warning track in the air. He can bunt. He's got good speed, good defensive skills in center field, and he's throwing a no-hitter after 3 innings tonight.
There's a high drive left field. It is caught. Emery forced to stay at first, 1 out. Mason Bratcher will step to the plate. Bratcher, third baseman tonight.
At bat number 10, Mason.
Yeah, that's 2 flyouts to left for Tootin tonight, so he's went in the same spot twice.
Going opposite field.
Yep.
Bratcher, a right-hander, with Emery at first. Fouled out of play, strike 1. Got a track meet going over at Wilkins Stadium tonight, and it looks like a distance run right now.
Oh, nice call there, yeah.
Yeah.
Big hole between short and third here for Bratcher, if he can hit it. Looks like the shortstop may be covering the bag here.
Fouled away 0-2.
They're shading the second baseman to the right side, so it looks like Shorts is shading second base here. Big hole between the shortstop and third baseman.
Miller's pitch must have been low. 1-2 the count. Tullahoma sophomore. There goes the runner. So hit and run was on. Bratcher fouls it away. Count remains 1-2.
Bratcher guarding that outside corner. Saying you're not going to catch me on that one. I'm going to be swinging.
See if Coach Morris puts the hit and run on again. Miller. Long look to first. Now his pitch misses low, 2-2.
A good plate discipline there by Bratcher not to go fishing on that one. Not much you can do but golf a pitch that low. See if we can get something good to hit here on this 2-2 count.
Emery's lead, ball 3.
Yeah.
It's not a strike, but yeah, you get
Close.
every time you see it over and over, you're like, oh goodness. Yep. You never know.
Full count on Mason Bratcher. 1 out, runner at first.
Go Colt. Colton needs to get a jump here.
There goes the runner. Throw down, not in time, gets away from the second baseman.
Deceptively fast.
And Bratcher walked.
Fouled off a pitch or two and kept himself alive and worked a walk. So that's a good at bat. Sometimes you gotta win those battles. You gotta foul off a couple pitches to survive and win, and he won that battle.
Wade
Against
Collins
Grayson
steps
Miller.
in, the first baseman. Collins with runners at first and second, 1 out.
He popped out to the shortstop in inning number 2. Did Collins? 0 for 1.
That one's in the dirt, 1-0 the count.
Oh, Miller's struggling. He's thrown lots of pitches here in just 2 1/3 innings of work
Yeah, he has.
for the Tigers. And 0 activity in Marshall County bullpen.
Called strike 1.
That fastball had some good heat on it.
Wade, there he is, right over second base.
1-1.
Second baseman's head. That's where it's open right now.
Collins, grounder to short, could be 2. Nope, throw to first in time. So runners advance to second and third. Collins out at first. 2 down now for Derek Nolasco, the left fielder.
That ball not hit quite hard enough to turn the double play, so shortstop charging the ball makes the throw to first. Wise play by him. No chance for 2 on that one. Or even the force play at second. Bratcher showing good speed there to beat the ball to second.
Nolasco pops it up. And the catcher makes a heck of a play. Nice
Sure
play
did.
for Marshall County. So Tullahoma strands a couple in the bottom of the third, but the Wildcats lead the Tigers 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network. Tullahoma leads Marshall County 4-0 here on the Light Tube Sports Network. And the Tigers, Trey Warner, catcher, lead it off here after making a heck of a defensive play to close out the bottom of the third. Warner leads off here in the top of the fourth.
Well, sure did. He stranded 2 runners, so that's a big play. It kind of keeps Marshall County really within striking distance here. They're down 4-0, trying to get something going against Tullahoma pitcher Balin Tootin, the sophomore left-hander.
Tootin's pitch must have been a little high, 2-0.
Work it now, dude.
Warner took a call third, looking in the first. We're at 2, 3, 4 in the batting order for the Tigers.
Ball 3, 3-0 the count. Tootin has avoided trouble and come back from multiple 3-0 counts.
He's coming
There's
back
a called
again.
strike.
Okay, I'm going to spot you 3-0 and then come back and get you. How about that? It's at least the third batter he's had a 3-0 count on.
Fouled away, so Tootin again battles back, and now full count
Come on, dude.
on Warner.
Go, boy.
Tootin's pitch inside, ball 4. So Tootin walks Warner. Marshall County has a leadoff batter on here in the top of the fourth. And 3-4-5 coming up for the Tigers. John Thomas, the first baseman. Bats number 3 in the lineup.
John Thomas.
And Thomas walked his first time up.
Marshall County will get a pinch runner. We have no idea who that is.
You guys say he hit a home run last night?
This kid last night had a triple and a home run.
He had a triple and a home run last night, did John Thomas.
Well, he hadn't shown
So one
me
of
a
their
lot
big hitters.
tonight.
No. One at bat, he did draw a walk. So, the only blemish is on Tootin's pitching matrix right now is 2 base on balls.
Get your ground ball here.
It's allowed no hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks.
Pitch to Warner,
Good
in
pitch.
there, strike one.
Again, on the inside corner. He loves that inside corner pitch. Tying those righties up.
Tootin looks to first. Delivers. Missed, ball one. 1-1 to count. Nobody out, runner at first. Tullahoma trying to sweep Marshall County in this district series. Tootin's pitch, check swing, ball two.
Oh, he's not getting the low fastball over the middle of the plate. That's for sure. Not getting that call.
Well, you don't have
bring it
to.
up
You
just a
got to
little
get
bit.
it 4 inches off the outside
Yeah.
of the plate.
Yeah. Yeah, the umpire prefers the outside corner.
On these right-handed hitters.
Sure does.
And there it is, but a little high. 3-1.
See Jerry framing it for about 2 seconds.
Cold night here at Wilkins Stadium.
Short lead
Or
at first. Throw to
Grider
first. They
Stadium.
got him. Run down.
Oh, Balin's going to get him.
We'll just let you watch it. There it is.
There you go.
Good job.
Tomlin touches the out. Actually, that's the,
So that'll go down as a pickoff.
that was Fulmer that got the out. 3-1, the count on Thomas, but nobody on now, one out.
Well, that's really a cardinal sin for the offense. You're down 4-0. You certainly don't want to get a runner picked off. You have 0 hits. You got a 3-1 count on the batter. Chance of getting 2 guys on and no out. Now you have a runner erased on a pickoff.
There's a shot to right center field, and that's a base hit. Solid base hit for Warner. But because of the pickoff, nobody hurt.
That number 11, Balin.
Balin Luttrell will step in now for Marshall County with one out.
That's MC's first hit of the game. Took one out in the 4th to get it done.
I mean, he is right on the verge of a ball.
See if Tullahoma can roll up 2 in the middle here. Luttrell grounded out to 3rd his first time up. 0 for 1.
Inside, ball one.
He is hovering on that line. What's he at? 59. Man, that's not a lot. Well,
Tootin 59 pitches thus far
Fouled away. Well, you know,
in the contest.
Dr. Nichols called that pickoff.
He sure did.
You heard him say it right before he
Yeah.
picked it. We might as well just pick this guy off.
You know, they
And we
had
did.
Yeah, they had a runner that we balked on earlier, and Tootin learned his lesson and just threw the ball over there this time, and you got him in the pickle.
Tootin's pitch, called strike two.
that right there. Good pitch. Framing by Jaron on that one wasn't great.
He also froze the runner at first. He thought he was coming to first.
Come on, Balin. Look out. Come on, bud.
You know, back when I played, you
Swung
just
on and missed. He struck him out.
another K. That's number 6. It's K swinging was. You know, it's always tough to get a good lead on a left-handed pitcher. I know, Scott, if you remember a guy named Terry Underwood or not, but played against him in Babe Ruth, and he picked me off on first base. I didn't have a big lead, man, but I just, you know, he lifted that big leg up, that front leg. I thought he was coming home, and then I said, uh-oh. He, you know, zipped the ball over to first and got me.
That's Mr.
Thomas Beach steps in for the Tigers with a runner on first and 2 outs now.
Actually met him several times.
And Tootin's first pitch is high and tight.
It's from Canada, so all these hockey players.
And 2 outs. Tullahoma in total command here. They lead it 4-0 in the top of the 4th. Looking to sweep this district series, first district series of the year for Tullahoma.
Inside 2-0. You know, game management here at Grider Stadium is performed by Dynamite Dave Myers. I mean, it's a
Kid Dynamite.
Oh, and Myers almost just took a foul ball to the face.
And I have Big D's youngest son, Ezra, on my Angels team, 5 and 6 year old, looking forward to their first game on Saturday morning. The opening ceremonies in Tullahoma Little League are this Saturday morning at Cascade Park at 10 a.m. So all the young, excited new teams will converge and get the season started.
3-1 pitch from Tootin, inside ball 4. Marshall County has runners at first and second as Beach walks. And now Grayson Miller will step in. Tootin just not quite as sharp this inning. Still got 2 outs though, so.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you how big that pickoff was now. I mean, it's just a totally different scenario. You're 1 out away from getting out of the inning. 2 on, 2 outs versus bases juiced with 1 out. That's a big difference for a pitcher.
Yeah,
Pickoff certainly, changed the landscape of this inning against Marshall County. You just can't make base running blunders down 4 runs. Base runners are too precious in those kind of situations. See if we can get out of this. Miller, the pitcher from Marshall County, took a called third strike in the second inning. It is only a bat. He took a healthy cut that time.
Strike 1 to Marshall County pitcher.
Principal Quick tells us that Tullahoma is going to get a brand new scoreboard put up. Did he say tomorrow, Scott? Is that what he told us?
That's what he told you.
Yeah. It'll be in before the next game, so.
Ball gets away from Morris. Runners advance for Marshall County.
I'm going to count that a pass ball instead of a wild pitch, but the runners advance. And then the scoreboard that's currently here at Grider Stadium is going to move over to Green Field, where the Tullahoma Middle School plays baseball. So there'll be a welcome addition there.
Swing and a miss by Miller. 1-2 the count on the Marshall County pitcher. As the runners take their lead off second and third. Big pitch here for Tootin. There's a high pop. First baseman drifts toward the Marshall County dugout, out of play.
A critical juncture in this game here, so let's see if, way ahead in the count this time is Tootin, 1-2. You got to be wary of a curveball here if you're the batter, but as a pitcher, you want to at least, give Morris a chance to catch it and hopefully get a strike 3 call. Fastball.
Just missed. 2-2 the count.
Looked pretty good from up here.
Braylon Tootin. Pitch is high, 3-2 now. It's got full on Miller.
First base open here, but now he is into the mid-60s on pitches. This cold night, 0 activity in the Wildcat bullpen. Now it starts to, we see somebody get up, hit down there.
Andrews missed. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Braylon Tootin. And Marshall County scoreless in the top of the 4th. Tullahoma leads 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Well, Light Tube specifically played into our mission when we separated from our parent company and became an employee stock ownership program. We had to be disconnected from a large network and exist on our own. We needed relatively high speed connectivity, which we got at about a 200% discount with Light Tube. Businesses can get beyond what most businesses in the country can get from Light Tube as far as internet.
Welcome back. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, the Wildcats lead Marshall County 4-0. And the Tigers have changed pitchers. Trey Warner, who was doing the catching, is now pitching for Marshall County. Leading off for Tullahoma, Andrew Fulmer. Wildcats top of the lineup here in the bottom of the 4th with a 4-0 lead. See what they can do against Warner.
Well, the line for Grayson Miller, the pitcher for the Tigers, he went 3 complete innings, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits.
There's a grounder to third from Fulmer. Throw to first in time. 1 out.
Miller walked 3 and struck out 0. So Tullahoma putting the ball in play tonight. 0 strikeouts, and that's what you want on a cold night like this. Make the team throw you out that you're playing against. Doing a good job of putting the ball in play tonight.
Hunter Hogan steps to the plate, the center fielder for Tullahoma. Hogan has singled twice.
Yep, 2 for 2. Had that swing and bunt the first time up.
Warner's pitch outside, ball.
Single to right with an RBI in the second.
Warner. It seems like it would be tough to go from catching to pitching in an inning.
Yeah, especially if you're wearing short sleeves. I mean, this guy's out here with basically his T-shirt uniform on and maybe just a white T-shirt under.
2-1 to count on Hunter Hogan.
No sleeves on his arms. Got to be chilly for that young man.
Outside, ball 3.
Looked like a good pitch.
Tullahoma in need of a base runner. With the heart of the order coming up, Tomlin, Morris, Emery. There's a shot to right field, but it's just foul. Count goes full now on Hunter Hogan.
Tullahoma's getting a new scoreboard here. The Tullahoma Little League getting new lights. It's been a long, long time. The Wagner Park fields 1 and 2 getting new lights out there.
Pitch missed, ball 4, and Hunter Hogan draws the walk. So Tullahoma has a base runner with 1 out, and Evan Tomlin steps to the plate.
When the Tullahoma Little League gets to host the district tournaments this year, so that's a big deal getting new lights out there for the Little League.
Tomlin with Hogan at first. Hogan a threat to go.
Tomlin 1 for 2, a single and a ground out to second.
See if Hogan tests Marshall County's new catcher. With 1 out. 1-0 the count on Tomlin. There goes Hogan. Throw down to second is not in time. So Hunter Hogan does test the new catcher and steals second on him. Tullahoma has a runner in scoring position. 1-1 count on Tomlin. 1 out.
Well, the key to stealing bases is getting a good jump. Getting a read on the pitcher. Check out his delivery the first pitch or two, and Hogan stole that one on the pitcher. Good jump.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Evan Tomlin. Warner's pitch. Missed, ball 3.
Well, the outside corner suddenly disappeared.
I think the umpire closed his left eye.
Yeah.
Missed, ball 4. So Evan Tomlin draws a walk. Tullahoma has runners at first and second with the cleanup batter Jaron Morris stepping to the plate. There's a reason why they call the number 4 hitter the cleanup hitter. Supposed to clean up the bases. Let's see if Jaron can get it done. Tullahoma could use more.
Yeah, Morris is lined out to center and flied out to center. Big hole in the right center field gap of the outfield. Lots of distance between the right fielder. He's shading the line. And the center fielder straight away. So a big gap in right center.
Runners lead. Warner's pitch. Strike 2. Morris can't believe it.
And kind of a slurve there. 3/4 arm slot. The ball had some movement on it. Looked like a curve ball that.
There's a high drive to center field. It's shallow. Hogan tags up, changes his mind wisely. Runners hold, 2 outs.
Well, the center fielder has Morris's number tonight, Scott. That's 3 putouts by center fielder on Morris.
Colton Emery, right fielder, steps in the batter's box for the Wildcats. Tullahoma in need of a big hit. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Cats lead it 4-0.
Colton 1 for 2. Unassisted ground out to third base and a single up the middle.
Called strike.
Warner trying to work his way out of a self-created jam with these 2 walks.
Yeah, most jams in life are self-created, Ken.
Unless it's a traffic jam, my friend.
Sometimes those are self-created.
Mm-hmm.
0-2 the count on Colton Emery.
Then you just start honking your horn and working your way through it the best way you can, right?
Well, you hope so.
Or wait,
you hope that's
patiently.
all that happens
Yeah.
nowadays.
Oh, it's crazy out on the roads these days. Lots of road rage.
1-2 the count to Colton Emery. 2 on, 2 out.
Well, let's see if Colton can deliver a clutch hit, 2-out hit here.
We need
Get him an
clutch.
RBI. Get Hogan in from second. Maybe an extra base hit. Tullahoma without an extra base hit tonight, all singles.
Nobody has an extra base hit.
No.
There's a grounder to third. He's got to touch the bag, and he does for out number 3. We have played 4 here at Grider Stadium. Tullahoma leads Marshall County 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Never miss your favorite shows again. For an additional $7 a month along with your digital television service, LightTube Cloud DVR lets you record up to 8 programs at the same time, receive 500 gigabytes of cloud storage, and whole home DVR. Call TUA Customer Service to add LightTube Cloud DVR to your digital television service today at 455-4515.
Welcome back to Grider Stadium. We're in the top of the 5th. Tullahoma leads Marshall County in a district contest 4-0. Balin Tootin cruising on the mound for the Tullahoma Wildcats. He's allowed only 1 single in the game. He struck out 7 Tigers. Tullahoma's defense has not had to do a whole lot of work tonight. So a defensive player's dream tonight, really, for the Wildcats.
That's a strike.
Well, it looked like a good pitch. Umpire thought otherwise, so looks like the count is it 2-0? 1-1. Count even at 1. Good fastball there. Called ball 2. Reed Mitchell up for Marshall County in his second at bat. We're in the 5th. He struck out swinging his first time up back in the 2nd inning. Sharp ground ball hit to the shortstop for Tullahoma. Good slide step, fires it to first, 1 down, so that's going to be a 6-3 put out.
And bat number 2. Eli.
Tullahoma defense playing flawless tonight. They haven't had many opportunities but fielded the ones they've had, so that was a nice play there by Fulmer, the shortstop, as he throws over to the first baseman, Collins. So that brings up Eli Cross. He struck out swinging his first time up in the 3rd. Well, Tootin gets ahead 0-1. He's been behind at least 3 batters and not 3-0, so there's always room for improvement. And Coach Morris, being a former major league pitcher, definitely going to work on first pitch strikes with him and learn to, as he gets older, to pitch from ahead and not from behind. Makes a big difference. But he has shown a lot of mental toughness in coming back from those 3-0 counts. It's a swing and a miss. Tootin ahead 1-2 here on Eli Cross. Tigers definitely need base runners. Tootin not wanting to give in, so that's 2-2 pitch low and inside. Tullahoma defense straight away. One of the bottom portion of the lineup for the Tigers. Infield defense is shallow in the outfield. Infield deep at second and short in the middle of the infield. Full count, 83 pitches for Tootin. Tullahoma does have some activity in the bullpen. There's an inside pitch yanked down the left field line. Left fielder going after it. Runs out of room, ball's foul. So that was Derek Nolasco giving chase to left, but just ran out of room. No way to get that ball. So count remains full, 3-2. Top of the fifth, one out. Tootin' cruising, Telehoma up 4-zip. Trying to get the sweep here in the first district series of the season. They won 10-3 at Lewisburg last night. The 3-2 pitch right down the middle. That's strikeout number 8 for Balin Tootin. Now he's trying to get in double digits in strikeouts, only 2 away. It's going to bring the number 9 hitter up, Colin Henry. He grounded out pitcher to first. And Balin doing it all tonight. Threw him out on the ground ball back into the box in the 3rd inning. Pitch down low, says the umpire. Down the middle but low. Below the kneecaps, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Count even. 1-1, 2 outs. So I said Tootin's only allowed 1 single tonight. The lone hit for Marshall County. They had an opportunity last inning, had a walk in their only hit of the game, had a couple runners on, and then had a pickoff. A key pickoff play that erased one of the runners. Another ground ball to the shortstop. Short to first. Vollmer expires Henry. So that's 3 up, 3 down, the top of the 5th for the Marshall County Tigers. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th after this Light Tube Sports timeout. Welcome back to Grouder Stadium and the Light Tube Sports Network, where the Telehoma Wildcat baseball team is blanking Marshall County 4-0 in the top of the 5th. Balin Tootin has thrown a masterpiece. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 hit allowed. He takes a rip his first pitch and handcuffs the shortstop. Throw to first, close play. Umpire called him out. So good hustle there by Tootin, the Telehoma pitcher. Promising sophomore, has done an excellent job on the mound tonight for Telehoma. So that's going to go 6-3 ground out after Tootin flied out twice to left field. So he's 0 for 3 batting, but he's doing the job on the mound. So that's going to bring Mason Batcher up. Batcher reached on an error, on a throwing error by the shortstop in the 2nd inning, reached on a base on balls in inning 3. Batcher looking to get on base for the Wildcats here. Swings up. Fly ball to short right field. Second baseman corrals it. So quickly, 2 outs for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the 5th. Trey Warner, who started the game at catcher in his 2nd inning of relief for Tiger starter Grayson Miller, who Telehoma tagged for 4 runs. That's going to go as a fly out 4 for Bratcher. That's going to bring Collins up. He flied out to the shortstop his first time and grounded out to the shortstop the 2nd time. So he's 0 for 2. 2 at bats. Raced by the shortstop both times. Well, the top of this inning was 3 up, 3 down, and Tigers trying to return the favor on Telehoma. Collins takes strike 1. The first pitch. Warner goes up 0-2. 2 called strikes. To the Telehoma senior first baseman, the only senior in the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Boy, the future looks bright the next couple of years for Coach Morris and these young Wildcats. That's a call 3 on the outside corner. This half inning went faster than the top of the inning did. So it's 3 up and 3 down for the Wildcats. They go quietly in the bottom of the 5th, but they still lead it 4-0. We'll be back after this Light Tube Sports timeout with the top of the 6th.
Did you know that Telehoma Utilities Authority has a solar farm right here in Telehoma? For as little as $4 a month, you can support solar energy production and breathe a little easier, knowing you're taking positive action to reduce your carbon footprint. Call 455-4515.
Welcome back to Grider
today.
Stadium as we move to the top of the sixth. Tullahoma leading 4-0. On the mound for the Wildcats now, sophomore Andrew Zebick. Zebick, a tall, lanky right-hander. We had a couple other shifts. What were they?
Tootin is in center.
Tootin now playing center field.
Hogan is in right.
Hogan in right field.
And Colton Emery's at first.
Colton Emery at first base. So Tullahoma makes some changes. Zebick on the mound now, 0-1 the count to the leadoff batter.
Zebick pitches exclusively from the stretch. Pitching line complete for Balin Tootin. He threw a masterpiece. 8 strikeouts in 5 complete innings. He had 3 walks, allowed only 1 single game, 0 runs. Say pretty impressive, Scott.
Well done.
Balin Tootin.
Well done. Good solid start.
Much like what we saw out of Mason Bratcher last week against Siegel here in our first telecast. 5 innings of work, and I think he only allowed 1 run. He allowed 1, but none for Tootin.
2-2 count on Heary. Lined out of play.
The leadoff hitter for Marshall County here, he is 0 for 2. He had a line out to the left fielder and a fly out to the right fielder. Ball
is not carrying tonight. That wind's still blowing. That flag doesn't show it, but it's still blowing. I think there's more Marshall County people here than Tullahoma. These stands are bare. We got a lot of viewers tonight, Ken.
Yeah. Defenseless swing there by Harry on that with 2 strikes. Just trying to stay alive.
2-2 count. Grounder to third. Scooped up. Long throw to first in time. Nice play.
Wow. Yeah, that was an excellent play right there. Really, he laid back. I thought he was going to come in on the big hop, but he laid back on it and made an excellent play really, good transition from his glove to throwing hand there, and got rid of the ball quick and threw a dart to first, expiring. So a great play by Bratcher on third.
Really was. Trey Warner steps in now. Warner, the pitcher for Marshall County now. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 6th, 4-0 Wildcats. High ball 1.
Yeah, I believe that's Trey Warner still up there, the 16, if that's the number. Looks like it is.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Number 2 hitter. Lots of offers in this lineup for Marshall County.
Grounder foul down the third base line. 1-1 the count.
The only hit for Marshall County was a single in the 4th by first baseman John Thomas, who waits on deck.
Our next broadcast of baseball here on Light Tube will be April 10th when Page comes to town for District 8 AAA matchup. Fouled away, 1-2 the count. Page and Tullahoma softball on Light Tube here on April 4th.
I talked to one of the Wildcat assistant coaches, a few weeks ago before the games actually started, and asked what he thought about this year's team. He said he thought they could be good, but they needed to remain healthy on the pitcher's mound. So that's going to be the key as this season goes on.
2-2 pitch from Zebick is low.
We've seen some nice pitching. Can we stay healthy? That's going to be the key.
Count goes full on Warner with 1 out. That's always the key, right?
Yeah, I mean, you want depth, around the the tournament time, district play and region play and states, you want to have all the arms you can have. Have them healthy.
3-2 pitch from Andrew Zebick. High drive, right field. It's foul. Out of play.
Saw some video today of the Tullahoma football team working out, lifting weights. So Scott, they're getting ready. I'm excited to work with you for, I guess, year number 7 together, calling football games
Grounder
this year.
to short. Scooped up, throw to first, in time. 2 down. Yeah, spring practice is usually, in late April? Tullahoma usually kind of late on spring practice. So it'd be fun to come out, watch a little spring practice football. Right now, though, we've got more important business. Nobody on, 2 down. As Zebick faces John Thomas, first baseman. Thomas has walked and singled.
Bratcher and Fulmer are playing good defensively. I'm impressed with really what I'm seeing out of the Tullahoma infield tonight. Not a whole lot of chances, but flawless so far.
High and tight, ball 1. Major League Baseball season will be getting underway here in the next few days.
Yeah, that was exciting. Got the opportunity to watch, some of the world games. Japan against the United States the other night, watching that big battle in the 9th inning between Shohei Ohtani of Japan versus Mike Trout, and it was quite an at-bat there. I think Mike Trout, the stat they showed in all the years, he came up as a rookie in 2011, one of the most prolific home run hitters in Major League Baseball, and Ohtani got a 101-mile-an-hour fastball and just an excellent slider.
Zebick's 3-0 pitch is high, so Thomas walks. And the cleanup hitter, Balin Luttrell, steps in for Marshall County with 2 outs and a runner on first.
Ohtani, he ended up getting 3 swing and misses on Trout, and I think he's only done that like 20 or 24 times in his entire career, where he didn't even foul a pitch off and had 3 swing and misses.
Ohtani's just a freak of our time.
Yeah, he is.
Fouled out of play.
John Smoltz was a color commentator on that game, and he's a guy I respect a whole lot. He was calling Ohtani, comparing him to Babe Ruth. Just a 2-position player. You don't really see that out of the major leagues. Hit regularly in the lineup and be a starting pitcher as well.
We've never seen it in our lifetime.
Yeah, not to this extent, certainly. Yeah.
0-2 the count now on Luttrell. Zebick ahead in the count. Trying to get out of the 6th. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Andrew Zebick. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Tullahoma leads Marshall County 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Tullahoma Utilities Authority Light Tube Fiber Internet offers true gigabit service to our customers. We pride ourselves on speed, but the backbone of that speed is local tech support, unmatched customer service, and professional service technicians. To sign up, call 455-4515 to gain the reassurance of Light Tube reliability.
The number 9 hitter leads off for Tullahoma here in the bottom of the 6th. Derek Nolasco, the left fielder. 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout. Outside, ball 1.
Warner has done a good job on the mound for Marshall County. He has not allowed any runs. All 4 runs attributed to starter Grayson Miller.
Yeah, Warner's looked good. 1-1 now, the count on Nolasco.
Marshall County does have a reliever up in their pen, should they need him. Looks like a lefty.
I forget.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it looks like a lefty down there.
Warner's
For
pitch
Marshall
outside.
County.
3-1 to count now on the last go. Well, let's hope that lefty doesn't have an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if he does, this inning.
That's right.
Fouled back. Full count now on the last go. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. Cats on top, 4-0. Trying to sweep Marshall County to open District 8 AAA play. There's a fly to right field. It's sinking fast, and that is a base hit for the last go. Just dropped it where the right fielder could not get to it. So the number 9 hitter is on for the Wildcats. We move back to the top of the order. Shortstop Andrew Fulmer.
And I start Telehoma's had multiple first at bat gentlemen reach base tonight, and they do it again. Keeping pressure on the defense.
49 degrees at beautiful Grider Stadium on a Tuesday night in late March. Not that unusual.
Well, Scott, a crazy Final Four. All the SEC teams wiped out in the Sweet 16 round.
All the Power 5
Disappointed to
teams
see that.
except for UConn.
Yep.
Throw to first, not in time. The last go back. Well, I'm glad to see all the SEC teams out of it, except for one.
Oh. Yeah.
If we got to go, everybody go. That's the way I look at it.
That's the way you roll, man. You're consistent.
2-0 the count on Fulmer.
And Tullahoma has somebody throwing in their pen as well.
Yeah, that Florida Atlantic, there's something else to watch.
Wade Collins.
There's a shot to left field, base hit. So Tullahoma, first 2 batters aboard here in the bottom of the 6th. As Fulmer singles to left, and Hunter Hogan, the center fielder, will step in.
Fulmer 2 for 3. He scored 2 runs tonight, so that's his second single of the night. Walk, single, ground out third, single, 2 for 3.
See if we can get Fulmer around.
Hogan's 2 for 2 with a base on balls and a stolen base and an RBI.
Hogan squares the bunt. Foul tips it. 0-1 to count.
And first baseman crashing in. Third baseman staying back deep to cover the bag there. Yeah, if he could somehow push this down the third baseline, but the pitcher threw that one on the outside corner, so you know it's really impossible to bunt an outside corner pitch as the right-handed batter down the third baseline.
Pretty tough.
So the pitcher's going to try to work outside corner. Let's see if we're swinging or bunting. That's a bunt, staying outside.
Hogan missed it. 0-2 the count.
And that's what you want to do. If you got your first baseman coming in, you want to, as a pitcher, you got to keep that ball in the outside corner, because if they get it down third, it's big trouble. Nobody there to field it. Third baseman even with the bag now.
There's a high pop.
Trouble.
Center fielder drifts up. It falls between them. They're going to throw to third, and that is not in time. So
Wow.
a base hit for Hunter Hogan. It just fell right between the second baseman, the shortstop, and the center fielder. Just nobody could get to it. So Tullahoma has the bases loaded, nobody out, and the number 3 hitter, Evan Tomlin, at the plate.
Yeah, tell them I threatened to blow this thing wide open. I just think some miscommunication there. Really, with the center fielder coming in, that's really center fielder's ball, but he couldn't get to it. Maybe the shortstop should have floated out a little bit more and take it, because that was just too much ground for the center fielder to cover. I think the center fielder or the shortstop pulled off prematurely on that one. But it's going to go down as a single. You're right, Scott. Nobody touched it.
3, 4, and 5 hitters up for the Wildcats. A chance to really blow this open here in the bottom of the 6th. Tomlin steps in against Warner.
Yeah, it looks like defense is going to play double play depth in the middle, short and second back. Corners are in, first and third in on the grass.
Outside ball 1.
So if it's hit to short or first or third, they're probably going to come home with it. Middle's going to try to turn 2 on a grounder.
Called strike. 1-1 the count.
Tomlin's going to try to bust a gap here. So he's 1 for 2. Sharp single to center and RBI in the first, ground out to second in the second, and in inning 4 he drew a base on balls.
Tomlin fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4-0, Tullahoma over Marshall County.
Tullahoma won 10-3 last night, convincing fashion, trying to blow this thing wide open here in the bottom of the 6th.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Nice pitch from Warner. And Tomlin down on strikes. Jaron Morris steps in, the catcher.
Now that one's right down Peachtree Street, right down the middle. Morris 0 for 3. He's hit 3 balls to the center fielder in there tonight. Line drive and 2 fly balls. He's due.
There's a high pop towards second. Pitcher says, I got it. First baseman comes in at the last moment, makes the catch.
Boy, they're making these fly balls look overly exciting here tonight, aren't they?
2 outs now. Tullahoma still with the bases full, and it's up to Colton Emery.
That's going to go fly out 3. First baseman. Yeah, certainly you don't want to leave the bases loaded, no outs, to come out with 0 runs. So they need a 2-out clutch hit here from Emery. He's 1 for 3.
There's a shot to left field, but it's right to the left fielder. So Tullahoma strands 3, but is 3 outs away. We head to the 7th. Wildcats on top 4-0 on the Light Tube Sports Network.
Is lag hurting your gaming? Is a weak signal stalling your social media posts? Are constant updates slowing down your productivity? TUA LightTube has a solution. Enroll in our mesh router service starting at $9.95 a month. With the ability to cover your home with increased signal strength, you can increase productivity and whole home happiness. Start winning today by calling TUA LightTube customer service at 455-4511.
We head to the top of the 7th here. Tullahoma 3 outs away from a big district win here at home. Leading off for Marshall County, the designated hitter Thomas Beach. Beach 0 for 1, struck out and walked.
Well, Tullahoma puts their 3rd pitcher of the game in. Wade in the 7th. Try to close this thing out. Andrew Zebick, 1 inning of work, 1 strikeout, 1 base on balls, no hits or runs allowed.
So Collins, the senior, with an opportunity to close it out here. 1-0 the count on Beach.
Beach 0 for 1 with a strikeout, swinging, and a walk.
Called strike, 1-1.
Wildcats looking for the shutout tonight in the sweep of the series against Marshall County.
Swung on and missed, 1-2 the count. Nice pitch from Wade Collins there.
Yeah, looks to be a strike thrower. That's what you want here in the late innings. No free passes. Attack the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Collins, he spent a little time at quarterback in his sophomore year, football field. Did a little mop-up duty for the Wildcats a couple of times. 1 out here. Stepping in, Grayson Miller. Miller started this game at pitcher. Gave up these 4 runs to the Wildcats. He is the pitcher of record for Marshall County. Collins delivers outside, ball 1.
Miller struck out both times, both ABs tonight. Once looking, once swinging.
Well, he might as well get the trifecta.
Yeah.
Low ball 2 from Collins.
I was zipping the old hoodie up here in the press box. It still feels like temperature is dropping. Temperature is still falling. It's when you're the end of this contest. Cold night here at Grider Stadium.
In the dirt, ball 3. So Collins falls behind Miller 3-0 with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Nobody up in the Wildcat bullpen. We hope it stays that way.
Strike 1.
See if he can come all the way back. Balin Tootin, the pitcher record for Tullahoma, trying to get the win. 5 nice innings tonight, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, only allowed 1 hit.
3-1 pitch from Collins, strike 2. Miller thought he had a free pass. Not so. Full count.
And Tullahoma pitchers have combined to allow only 1 single this game.
Missed low, ball 4, and Marshall County has a base runner here in the top of the 7th as Collins walks Miller.
Collins wanted that strike call.
Well,
Didn't get it. He wanted it.
of course he did.
So we have walked 5 batters tonight, 1 single.
Reed Mitchell steps in for Marshall County.
That's,
Mitchell
you know,
0 for 2.
what you want to do is just cut down on those walks. So that will be a point of emphasis after this one.
What I want is a ground ball to second base. Called strike 1.
Mitchell 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Ground out to short his last time up. We'll get a ground out to short. Ground to short here. We could roll up to 6-4-3 double play. Be nice.
There's a grounder to short. And great stop by Tootin. Not Tootin. Fulmer. Great stop by
Sure
Fulmer. He
was.
couldn't get the throw anywhere because he didn't have time, but
Yeah.
great diving stop by Fulmer. But Marshall County has runners at first and second now.
Yeah, it's an
Eli
infield
Cross
single.
stepping in.
Infield single, ball deep in the hole there. No throw attempt. So that's a second hit of the game for Marshall County.
Runners lead at first and second. Collins trying to close this out for the Wildcats. Marshall County not going easy. We knew they wouldn't. Strike 1.
Working that outside corner cross. 2 Ks on the night, 0 for 2. Let's get number 3 right here. Tullahoma double play away from ending it.
Outside, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Tullahoma leads 4-0. Number 9 hitter Eli Cross at the plate for the Tigers. Wade Collins on the mound for the Wildcats.
I think he just called a balk
Sure
on
did.
Collins.
Sure did. So Tullahoma's second balk of the night advances the runners to second and third. Marshall County trying to rally here in the top of the 7th.
Four nothing, 4-zip Tullahoma. Pitch way outside.
Great stop by J-Ron Morris.
Sure
Keep
was.
a run from scoring.
Sure was.
2-1 the count on Cross.
Very athletic catcher for the Wildcats. Nice play there. See if the bullpen begins to stir. Nothing yet. Base hit could possibly cut this 4-run deficit in half with 1 swing of the bat.
2-1 pitch from Wade Collins. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Collins delivers. There's a drive to left center field. It is caught. Run will score, but a fine catch in left field.
It sure was.
That's Nolasco. 2 down now. Runner at second. The run scores for Marshall County, so the shutout's gone. It's 4-1 Wildcats. And the Tigers go back to the top of the order with James Heary.
Yeah, so the Tigers avert the shutout on the sac fly by Eli Cross. That plates Grayson Miller.
Oh, we're at the bottom of the order.
Yeah,
Colin Henry
yeah.
up for Marshall County. My bad.
Good catch, Wade.
Heary, Henry, you know.
Yeah.
0-1 the count on Henry. Collins trying to finish it off. Runner at
Henry 0
second.
for 2. Ground out to the pitcher, ground out to short. It's 2 at-bats. Nice pitch. Looked like a curveball there.
0-2 the count. We're one strike away here. Collins from the stretch. And he swung on and missed. He struck him out. Wade Collins ends the Marshall County threat, and the Tullahoma Wildcats have beaten the Marshall County Tigers 4-1. You can wrap this one in Cardinal and black. Ken, outstanding pitching performance for the Wildcats tonight.
Oh, it sure was. Three Wildcat pitchers, combined for the two-hitter. Bronson Tootin goes 5 solid innings. Mr. Zebit goes an inning, and then Collins closes it out. Tullahoma did have 5 base on balls that they gave up among their pitchers, but, hey, you only allowed 2 hits, 7 base runners total. Solid performance. Tullahoma wins and sweeps the series as they win tonight at home 4-1 against the Marshall County Tigers.
Balin Tootin gets the win for Tullahoma. Your final once again, the Wildcats 4, Marshall County 1. For Ken Keller and Chris Barstad, you've been watching the Light Tube Sports Network. I'm Scott Chastain. Be good to each other.
And as always,